let's talk about some of these awesome new releases.
Okay. For the Switch, every indie game that you've ever heard of came out this week.
I've even played a couple of them.
Have you? On the
Yeah,
Switch?
No, on other
Okay.
consoles. But I'm saying I've played a couple of these.
Sure.
Some of them I even own.
Sure.
Yeah.
You got the Axiom Verge, you got the Oxenfree, you got the Stardew Valley.
I don't know if I have Stardew Valley.
That's everybody loves Stardew Valley.
I know everyone loves it.
I've got it on one of the other consoles, but have yet to play it.
Yeah.
It's the Harvest Moon type thing.
I know I have Axiom Verge.
That's the Metroid type thing.
Yeah. I have 88 Heroes.
Okay.
I like that game, actually. That game is a lot of fun.
Is that the sex type thing?
Huh? No.
I don't remember what 88 Heroes is.
88 Heroes is like a I want to say like a platformer, side scroller, and you have to get through each level, and you only have, as the game is called, 88 heroes to get through the game. So you have 88 lives essentially, but each life you're a different person with a different skill set.
Okay. I remember this
It's
game
unique.
now. Yep.
Yeah,
I remember this.
it's cute.
It's $30.
Yeah, I don't know if it's worth $30, but it's cute.
All right.
Mm-hmm. You got Volgar
And
the Viking.
Volgar the Viking.
Yep.
I played that one.
Yep. And
That game's
Tumblestone.
hard as balls.
Yeah. So, indies have found a new home on Nintendo Switch.
They got to go somewhere.
It makes sense. I just don't. I wonder how saturated it'll get if this many indie games are coming out in a week.
Well, I guess there's also the other thing, which is where do you store all these indie games?
on your memory card.
Yeah, but isn't it relatively small?
You got to buy a new
Not
one.
until you get a relatively big one.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's just an SD card, right?
Micro SD, yeah.
Micro SD. All right.
Hmm.
I thought about buying Golf Story because you were talking.
It's
about it
really
so much.
good. I've been playing. We can talk about that right now. Still,
Sure.
I've been playing more of that. The writing's really good. It's just a really well done game, like where it's easy to play, but it's still like challenging enough that you feel like kind of rewarded when you make a good shot and everything, and you do stupid stuff like hit chicken into a lake, and I don't know. It's very well done for $15. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
I haven't turned my Switch on in a long time. I think the last time was the Splatoon 2 beta. And that was pretty much it. I don't know. I know that people love it because of its portability, but that's not a real big selling point for me. I just don't. I don't know. I play enough games at home. I need a break at some point, you know? Plus, I'm too old to carry around that thing. People think it's weird. My like full neon grips on the side. I don't know.
Sure,
But hey,
you could buy some other grips.
that's not really the problem.
I didn't get the one with neon grips.
Oh, you suck then.
Yeah, what can you do?
But you don't look. It doesn't draw as much attention to yourself, so that's good.
I generally don't draw attention to myself.
What do you mean?
It's sort of how I go through life by just not drawing attention to myself.
Blending in.
Uh-huh.
I know the game that I think we've all been playing that just came out was Middle Earth: Shadow of War.
Never heard of it.
Yes. Yes.
I have trouble
Yes.
remembering what the name of it is actually.
You know, it took me a little while to remember that it's Shadow of War, not Shadows of War.
I forgot the Middle Earth part.
It really seems like it's overcoming the Lord of the Rings license, doesn't it?
Well, I think it's it seems to it as much as it embraces it in the game. I do think there is that separation.
I find myself kind of cringing whenever it like is bringing in like references that I know from Lord of the Rings.
Not they should just keep it separate.
Yeah, they should. It's not like I like Lord of the Rings. The movies were fine back then, but we just got so oversaturated with it that it for whatever reason, I just like went to push anything Lord of the Rings away from me. So whenever that they like bring in like the spider lady, or reference something directly from the movies, I'm like, let's get back to this guy over here. Like, he's the interesting part of this.
Let's go kill some orcs.
Right. There's so many orcs. They're everywhere. You can't turn around without having an orc to kill.
I've only played like an hour of the game, though. I've only played like an hour.
Okay, I'm only like 2 hours in.
Okay.
But
that's where I am, probably.
Okay. I mean, it's what we saw at E3. It's just the first game, just with everything expanded. You can't take like 2 steps without a new tutorial popping up and telling you that if you hit these 3 buttons, something happens.
Yeah, make sure you eat your brain food before you play this game, because you're going to have to remember a lot of shit. I mean, I feel like,
Well, you don't, and honestly, you don't have to. You could just hit the button. You could just hit the button that flashes.
True. I mean, it reminded me a lot of Batman. I mean, obviously the combat is heavily inspired.
It's lifted directly from Batman.
But also the fact that there's just so many button combinations to do various things that there's no way you can remember them all unless this is the only game that you're playing and you just play it every day. And you wind up just doing, like in the Batman games, you wind up doing what you sort of remember. And I think that's what's sort of going to happen in this game as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many like hold a trigger and hit a button, and then if you're sprinting, you can hit L3, and then that gives you another boost. And
right,
if you hold down the right trigger and you hit square, you do this. But if you hit circle, you do this. And if you hit triangle and circle together while you're doing that, you do something else. And then it's constantly like introducing these new systems as well, because the first game didn't have this loot system, right? That's new.
No, that's new.
I mean, I know the loot.
It didn't have loot, but it had runes. Was the first game.
Okay, but this is like a straight up
Yeah.
loot game now. Like you beat guys and like stuff occasionally pops out of them and you go over and pick it up. And now you have a new hat.
Yes, the other game was not like it had different outfits, but they were just full on outfits that I think were only cosmetic. So
yeah, this one's a lot deeper.
There's a lot going on.
Which isn't necessarily, which is a good thing, I think. It's what made, again, also made by WB Games, is what made Injustice 2. I still play that game, not that it's so old, but why I keep playing that game, even if it's just for like a half hour each week, is because I do, and we could dovetail this right into the loot box conversation, but I like getting those things to unlock in that new gear. So, if it keeps you going in the game, then there's nothing wrong with that.
I don't feel like I can really comment on the loot box situation in this game yet.
No, me neither. I haven't played
there.
enough. I don't know.
There's a market. I see it. So far, I've been able, in the 2 hours I've played, I've been getting stuff that's been helpful.
Well, that's just it. If you find that you never need it, then I guess it's almost this question of, is it much ado about nothing, is part one. And part two is, then why include it if it would just lead to so much bad press?
Well, because you can make money off of it. Because it's awfully tempting to just go in there. Like, the thing is, like, after you get a terrible drop, and you're like, well, that sucked. It's really tempting, just human nature, to go, well, maybe if I just gave them a couple bucks, I could get something good.
Yeah, I think the main complaint with the loot boxes in this particular game, was that once you finish the game, there's like a post game, basically, where I think you're defending your territories against something. Maybe
orcs?
I don't have all. Yeah, I'm sure they're.
I'm going to go with orcs.
Yeah, but apparently it's very difficult if you don't have some of these high level things that you find in the loot boxes that you buy with real money. So that's.
But how many hours have you gotten out of your $60 at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
This game does not seem like it's trying to rip you off so far. It seems
there's a lot going on.
It seems like there's plenty here to do.
Yeah.
Those skill trees are intimidating.
Yes, there's a lot of the skill trees. They changed that up from the last game.
Yeah, which we saw those at E3, and it's the kind of demo type thing where, like, oh yeah, we have 20 skill points for you here. Just go ahead and load them up however you want. And you're just like, okay, I don't know what any of this stuff does. I don't know the controls, but here we go. So I was like aware of that skill tree, and it's still like when it popped up on the screen, I still like took a deep breath and like sat back in my chair to just start digesting what path I wanted to go down.
Here's a
We didn't talk about Cuphead at all.
We
Have
did.
you
We
still
talked
been playing?
about it last week.
Yeah, have you still been playing, GB?
I played a little bit, but not
Okay.
very much. I've beaten a few of the bosses. I'm not on World 2. You told me that once I get to World 2, it's
Okay,
basically
I'm
all
on
over for me.
World 3 now.
Wow.
But I have not played much of World 3.
Okay.
I-
How hard is it? How hard is
It's pretty
World
hard.
2?
World 2, there's just the dragon boss took me a while. Other than that, I got through most of World 2 fairly decent. There's some hard parts, but it's all doable. World 3, I only played like a couple bosses a couple times and went, I don't feel like doing this right now. So I haven't been drawn to go back to play it this week too much.
Yeah, I'm too busy doing Iron Banner and playing Shadow
You're too
of
busy
War.
succeeding at stuff, right? Stuff that makes you feel
Right.
like you succeeded.
I'm too busy getting new weapons for my dude and killing orcs in the game.
And,
that I
and
rented.
enjoying the games you're playing.
I enjoy Cuphead. It's just I have to be in a very specific mindset and have some time. Like it's not that it's the levels are very short, only like 2 minutes long. But to like go at a new one, you're gonna have to play it 5 or 6 times just to see the patterns to begin with, and then work your way through it, which can take you, I don't know, a good half hour, an hour probably to beat some of these levels.
Right. Here's a question that a CAG wrote in, and I'm sorry, I apologize. I cut his name off of this somehow, but he's basically saying that the developers are leaving money on the table by not appealing to more casual gamers that otherwise would have no interest in playing this game, by not having an easy mode or a level, an easy setting rather. He said he was playing with his girlfriend and she loved the art style and characters, but she wouldn't play it because it was too hard for her to continue. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a good point there. I mean, maybe
they left Wombat by the wayside on this.
They
one.
did. I'm sure that if this game had an easy mode that would let you experience the whole game, but at a lesser difficulty,
There
would
is an
probably be
easy
interested.
mode, but it's still somewhat
But
challenging.
And it doesn't. I heard it's like weirdly set up where you don't get to see everything or something.
Right.
Well,
so-
from what I can tell, you just don't see like the final forms of the bosses.
And it's only on the bosses. It's only on the boss parts.
Okay.
So
There's no.
I
there's
don't
no
know.
simple mode for.
But
these.
I'm not buying Cuphead as it is right now. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. And did I have every intention, if this game was something that I could play, probably buying it because it looks cool? Yeah, I thought about it very much so. But yeah, I just, nope.
It's odd for people to argue against that too. Like they want their
Right.
difficult games.
Right.
We're
Have
not
both.
gonna
There's no reason.
they're not going to take away your difficult game. It's just that they're going to add a difficulty that makes sense for normal human beings to play it.
No, they're taking away. It's a blank and white issue for some reason for people.
Right.
And I don't understand that either. It doesn't really make sense. I mean, I get it. I get it from an artistic standpoint. That's your vision for this game. But don't complain when people say this game is too hard and I don't want to buy it. So,
Yeah, it seems to me like it's a no-brainer to include an easier difficulty throughout the game. I mean, why wouldn't you? Maybe that's
commercially speaking,
it's
yes.
pretty easy to do too. Like just up the number of hits you can take.
Sure.
Yeah. Well,
Like that's all you have to do really for the most part. It can still be difficult. Just make it so people don't they have a ridiculously high number of times they can get hit. They can get through the level and want to see the game. People want to see the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if this gets added in at some point. But it should be there. It should have been there from day one. If making money and selling the most
you would think people would want to see the art, though. At least, like
That's
now,
what
I'm
it comes
assuming
down
everybody
to.
just goes to YouTube and watches this game.
Yeah, I watched a Let's Play. Sabrina actually saw a Let's Play of this game, and she told me that I shouldn't buy it because it's too scary.
Too scary. Yeah.
Too scary. She said it's too scary. She goes, "Have you heard of this game, Cuphead?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Don't buy it. It's scary." I'm like, "Okay." Deal.
Sweet. Right. All right. What else we got here this week?
We're still on new releases.
I think so.
That's it.
Is that it?
I think we've released the news.
Yeah, 3DS. They remade a Mario and Luigi game for it, and there's a new Layton game. So it's still 3DS, still kicking around with the content.
Cool. All right then. How about a word from our sponsor, Harry's? Now we